Welcome back to the mental space. Oh, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Welcome back to the mental space with Sean Garvey right here on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. Also on your Odyssey app, search for News and Talk 1380 WAOK. And don't forget to tell Alexa, play News and Talk 1380 WAOK. We are also simulcasting on the Flow Television Network. So you can not only hear us on the radio, but you can also hear us and see us on TV, on your Roku TV, Android TV, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Portia Bruner is back in the studio, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. It is so good to be back.
It is so good to have you back.
This is home. This is second home.
Second home, yes.
There's just something about being inside again in a radio studio. It just always feels different.
Yeah. It does.
It always feels good. You know, my first broadcasting job was actually at WHBC at Howard University.
Mm-hmm.
It stood about a quarter this size in 1992.
1992?
Wow. Back in the day.
Yeah.
Off of Georgia Avenue.
Oh,
so this always feels good. But thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be in this space.
It is honor, and congratulations. Congratulations to you for season 2.
Thank you. We thank you, God. We thank the viewers. We thank the ancestors. And I'm just grateful that we've got a season 2.
What is different in season 2 compared to season 1?
There are several things that we have changed. So now we actually have an hour, right? And it's not an hour in the sense of we start with one show and end with the same show.
Okay.
We still record 2 half-hour episodes, right?
Okay.
But we are now putting those together so that you have an hour of content. So it's different conversations, different episodes, but it is 1 hour now from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in Atlanta and midday in Chicago. That's new.
Okay.
Fox 32. Shout out to our
Syndication.
Folks in
I love
Chicago, Fox 32. We appreciate you. And in Houston, Fox 26. And in San Francisco, Oakland, Bay Area, that's KTVU.
Okay.
Folks on the West Coast, they say it's the best coast. I ain't gonna argue with them as long as they watching Portia,
right? I know, right? It's like that whole thing of, the east side, or the west side is the best side.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all love. So that's the biggest difference, right? We actually have an hour now of good content and great conversations. And having those 3 cities. And we're also still streaming at 7 p.m. on Fox Soul. And Fox Soul, shout out to the folks at Fox Soul. Because they really do help us get an understanding. The reason why we are in those cities is because Fox Soul was able to track where a lot of our viewers were coming from. And those are 3 markets where there were a lot of Portia Show viewers watching in season 1. So Asante Sana, Fox Soul, for carrying the Portia Show so many times a day.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's great.
Do you and Marilyn, shout outs to your producer, Marilyn, by the way.
Yes, Marilyn Logan. And if I may, you asked who else is new. So I do need to acknowledge the team.
Absolutely.
Right? So a senior producer, that's now a co-executive producer, William Richards.
Oh, somebody got promoted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the team. Will's moving on up like the Jeffersons. Marilyn Logan is a producer. Chantel Rusher, our nickname for her is Crusher. Crusher is a new producer to the Portia Show, so grateful for her. And we have Juvair Andrew. He is our editor, photographer, helps us with social media. A lot of the content that we put out there is something that he has helped us, edit, shoot, and curate. And we have 2 new production assistants. Special K, that's Kayla, and Tasia. We have 2 production assistants now who are helping us. So we're growing. We are moving on up.
Do you need more people?
Yes.
Do you need more?
Yes. We need more people. We need more space. We need more time. But we are grateful, and I really am grateful for the. It's still season 2, right?
Yeah.
And it's still a nationally distributed talk show that's done out of a local news station, and this is unique. So of course you need more of everything, but you're grateful that you have these few hours out of the day where we can shoot these, this great show in between great newscasts on Fox 5 Atlanta. So shout out to home base Fox 5 Atlanta for making a way for this space.
Absolutely. And I've been, of course, they all seen me, WAOK family listeners. You all seen me on the Portia show a few months ago, 2023. It was heated.
Yes, it was. Yes, that was spring of 2023.
Yeah, it was the dating roundtable. It was me, the Kiana Dancy. Shout out to the Kiana Dancy and two other people.
Funny sister.
Yeah.
Brilliant sister.
Yeah. Let's give our listeners a recap. Yeah, absolutely. She does it all. An entrepreneur, business owner. But let's give our listeners a recap on the dating roundtable for those that didn't get a chance to check it or saw it. I thought it was only fair to talk about it and get your thoughts on it, because I know as the mediator, the moderator of that particular episode and having us in the studio, and I saw the setup and everything, right? I know that you probably had some thoughts in your mind like, oh, wait a minute, I don't know if I agree with what this person said and that person said, but what are your thoughts overall?
So listen, my job in every episode of Portia is, I always say the show has my name on it, but this is not about me, it is our stories. So I'm not supposed to agree or disagree. I'm just supposed to make sure that I am bringing out the everyone's opinions and being fair and accurate and balanced and making sure that the conversation flows so that the viewers hear what you think and the viewers can be informed or inspired or entertained or in some cases infuriated, right? It's just to keep the conversation going. So there was some stuff, Damien. Damien already knows.
I sat next to him.
Damien knows he's a trigger. But Damien, if we can be honest, Damien is so honest and so candid. It's refreshing. Yeah. And so, we met Damien. He was in our barbershop talk episode. And he had folks fired up then. Yeah. But Damien, there are a lot of Damiens out there. So I'm not going to be upset about anybody having a particular position. Yeah. We're not always going to agree. It's a family, right? And we're having family discussions. Yeah. So, it's fun. And I think if we're honest, sometimes the things that irritate you, it's because you may need to have your own self-check and take a look at your positions on how you feel. That my husband used to say, you throw a rock at a pack of dogs, the only one that hollers the one that got hit. Yeah, right? You got hit, you feel in some type of way. It may be because you might need to assess what your position is there. Did it hurt your feelings? Because maybe you're doing something that is bothersome to somebody else. Yeah, I love it how you brought it back to all things considered mental health, right? So in season 2, do you and Marilyn, do you all come across more stories and more testimonials about mental health in season 2 than in season 1? Well, it's hard to say that, right? Because season 2, we just got started. Season 1 was 214 episodes or something, 208 episodes. So there were lots of, really almost every topic can somehow be tied back to a mental health issue, right? Because our state of mind, our presence of mind, where we are, is tied to everything we do at work, how we interact with our loved ones. So there are going to be a lot of episodes. We had several more even before and after we last saw you. Mike Hill came in and talked about his book about advocacy for Black men in particular, and mental health, and having the space and the agency to let brothers say, listen, I'm going through some stuff, but we've had Shanti Das this season. It was a really powerful episode talking about her organization, Silence the Shame, and real powerful brother. And for those who don't know, Shanti Das, just an amazing powerhouse in, the recording industry, the music industry. But has been very transparent about her struggles with depression and thoughts of suicide. And her father passed away from suicide. And she wanted to be very clear that once she went through her therapy, that she wanted to make sure that people were talking about this. So they didn't have the stigma. So we had her on, and on that same episode, we had a brother named Delvin who attempted suicide. And was very transparent. And it was a beautiful and touching conversation. And I think one of the takeaways for me was making sure that we don't sound like it's something. I mean, of course, it's something bad, right? It's not something we want to work, if you would. Absolutely. But when you can then take an experience and you're in the darkest hour of your life, and you survive and then you turn that into a testimony, what a powerful experience just to be a part of that conversation. So I want to continue to give a platform for people to talk about mental health for men and women and children and seniors and veterans. Yeah. We're going to be talking about that coming up in our Veterans Day episode.
Ooh, I can't wait for that.
Thank you.
I cannot wait for that. What does season 2? We still have Portia Bruner from Fox 5. Portia.
Hi.
Fox 5, WAGA in Atlanta, of course, in the studio with Sean Garvey. What does season 2 look like in this political season, this election year coming up? I mean, I know some folks got a lot of stuff to say or trying to get off their chest, especially coming on the Portia show.
They do. So, and I'm really clear about this, right? We focus on faith, family, fitness, finance, mental health, physical health, love, and growth. So we're not going to have a lot of conversations about politics. And that's not because I'm afraid to talk politics. It's because a lot of people are talking politics, right? And so when you find your niche and you get in that space, you hold it and you make sure you continue to give people what you want. Yeah. So there aren't people pitching politics on this show. There's obviously a lot going on in terms of current events. That does not mean we'll shy away from current events. You know, the things that we see happening in neighboring states where they're, you know, rolling back what history of Black and brown people looks like. That's something we're going to talk about. But I am a registered voter. I always plan to be. And I encourage people to be that. But I'm not going to do the whole back and forth fighting over who we should have in office. I'm just going to tell you, make sure you and your crew, everybody's registered and go do what you're supposed to do. But when we recognize that people are coming back to this show to talk about the things that they're not hearing other people talk about, I'm going to honor that.
So you still want to keep it a safe space for all, I mean, for everybody, no matter if they are voting Democrat or they're voting conservative, Republican, you want it to be a safe space for everybody, despite what political belief they believe in or they stand upon.
Right. And that's going to be that's across the board, right? That's going to be what your ethnic background is, whether you are Black or not, whether you are white, whether you are Hispanic, Asian, Pacific Islander, and indigenous to this country. There are already so many things that divide us, right? So I'm not going to look for something else to divide us. You got a whole lot of other content on social media, online, and on the air to handle that. There are a lot of other places where you can go and talk politics. And I enjoy listening to those videos. I enjoy listening to them on WAOK. But I recognize that that's not what people are coming to me for. People are coming to me and back to that table because they want to hear the stories that aren't being told. And so if I have an opportunity to have a sister on who is willing to talk about the horrific ordeal she's had dealing with colon cancer and how that then turned into colorectal cancer, and then a doctor who is talking about why we should be getting checked. And a woman saying, listen, this is bad, right? Nobody wants to talk about that stuff. But it was a really strong show, not just because of the conversation, but because the rating spoke to people were like, I've been wondering about that. So if 20 people in the room are talking about who's going to run for this office, and 2 people are talking about something that maybe people have questions about and never really felt comfortable asking, and a bunch of folks are looking at that show where they're getting information that is suited to what they're trying to learn, I'm going to go with the folks who are looking for something different every time.
And of course, you got the Georgia gang on Fox.
Exactly. You know, and we've got a strong panel with, you know, people with great opinions on both sides, on every side, right? We're going to stop saying both sides because there are a whole lot of sides now. And Lori Gear does a great job leading that conversation, you know, and we've got brothers and sisters and people from different backgrounds coming to the table on Georgia Gang every Sunday on Fox 5. Watch it. It is great program.
Plug!
I'm still going to look out for my Fox 5.
If VP, Vice President Kamala Harris were to stop by, we're not talking.
Here's me moving the chair. Madam President, fellow Bison, here. I'm gonna make sure.
So we're not
Secret Service checks.
We're not talking about politics. We're gonna talk about why did you have that 1980s outfit on at that cookout dancing to Q-Tip vibrant thing.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to talk to her. I mean, as a fellow Howard graduate, obviously I would talk to her about what the administration is doing in terms of advocacy for historically Black colleges and universities.
Okay.
How her experience shaped her career, right? And she's had a very diverse career as a prosecutor, and she has been heralded for it, and she's been criticized for it. And her path to the White House is something that is absolutely amazing for Black and brown girls to see. So I would want to have a really robust conversation with her about the issues that affect women, not just in politics, but across, from coast to coast, and what that looks like moving forward, and what her legacy, what she wants her legacy to be for her daughters, for her bonus daughters, right? We understand that her family is, an extension of, the man she married, Mr. I always forget, like, it's not the first lady, the first husband, or, so those are important conversations. I probably want to have a real kind of conversation just about even interracial marriage and what this looks like, and what this, even in this day and age, what this is like now, where we've got so many people who don't identify as Black or white anymore, or whatever your bi looks like from an ethnic standpoint. I would want to have a wonderful conversation with her. And we might have a conversation about, hip hop, especially if we can do it before the end of the year, before the 50th, the great 1973.
Listen, you read Portia. Look here. This is how Portia knows me. She read my mind because I was getting ready to center that into the next question.
I love
50 years of hip hop. Because last time you was on the mental space, I talked a little bit about it. You may drop a rhyme or two or bar on social media every now and then.
I'm old school auntie hip hop. The current stuff I may not be able to. I mean, I've got teenage sons, right? So I know, but boy, oh boy, if you drop Gangstar and Google DJ Premier, we do a Tribe. I'm gonna go back to 8th grade with X Clan. I mean, I love hip hop, and I have loved watching all the celebrations in this last year. And shout out to my friend Wayne Swanson, a super duper farmer and advocate of Black farmers. He sent me a podcast today, 1988 with Will Smith. It was not on my radar, but a whole lot of stuff was falling on my radar when season 2. I'm like parenting and talk show, right? But just a wonderful podcast from the perspective of what 1988 did in terms of shaping so many different careers and putting, so many DJ Jazzy Jeff and Will Smith, and I was just listening to episode 2, and they were talking to Rick Rubin and how it started at, how Def Jam started in his dorm room at NYU, and it was like, so.
I wonder, I'm curious, it's 88, but I'm like, why not 78 or 79? It may be.
I mean, I think everybody can pick a year and say that this was a definitive year, right? We could look at 98 and say it's a definitive year with, the greats that we lost through violent crimes. You know what I mean? When we look at Tupac and Biggie and how they shaped hip hop, and how their murders shaped the personal relationships between, right? So I could go on and on and on about hip hop. I love hip hop.
Have you ever wanted to do a hip hop show? And the reason why I asked
is because of course. If I could have, listen, be very clear.
Okay.
So because there are constraints with a new show, right? Financial, I cannot play a beat on this show right now without having to, pay large sums. And we're in our, early stages. That won't always be the case, right? I know God is going to continue to bless us and we continue to walk in God's will and do what we're supposed to do. But right now, you've got licensing fees. Right now, to play a song, it's going to cost you.
Right.
And so it makes it difficult to do a really great tribute the way I would like to, especially in 30 minutes, the way I would like to. But we're finding ways to have the conversation but it's a tricky one.
So like, I would sometimes, Portia, I would go back and watch old videos of Rap City, right? I was just watching the 97 edition, the 98, and watching, of course, our very own Big Tigger from the Big Tigger Morning Show.
Which, and you know, I love Big Tigger because I was listening to him at WPGC in DC when I was at Howard.
There you go.
I remember him being on oh my gosh, you need to get back with CL Smooth and make it big. Yes. P-Rock and CL Smooth, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yes, like he's like he has no idea how much I like Totally Fan.
Right.
I play it off when I see him in person.
And even before the people that came before Tigger, I mean, we're talking about Joe Claire, Big Les, Chris, the Mayor.
Yeah.
So many others.
What BET looked like when we were watching, when there was no cameras in the studio and you had to lock in and tune in and watch it in real time.
Right. The music videos and just the cutting edge interviews and stuff.
Yeah. Shout out to Ananda Lewis from BET, a Howard graduate. I remember her getting her job with BET and talking to, you know, hip hop greats when she was still a senior at Howard and thinking, oh my gosh, that's so amazing.
Right. So, So Portia Show, of course, I've had people hit me up and you would be on the afternoons, and here in Atlanta, it would be like in middays. So break that down just to clarify to our viewers, because I had someone say, hey, you know, Portia's on midday, but I see it in the afternoons. How does that work?
So I think, what's happened is a lot of people, I'm realizing a lot of people still think I'm doing the news. So they think I might still report and anchor the news or anchor the noon show and then do. But Alex Whitler has been holding down on Fox 5 News at noon. Yes, indeed. Doing a great job for more than a year now since we started. But I think what happens is, especially when you're dealing with people who I've been here 20 years, right? I'm 50 years old. So for a lot of folks, I'm somebody's auntie. And so they see me and they think, wait, you're the news lady. I'm like, yeah, I'm still the news lady. But I am on middays as the host of Portia. And so that's 1 to 2 in Atlanta and 12 to 1, 1 to 2 in some of the different cities, except Houston. We're on at like 2 a.m. to 3 a.m., which is interesting because, you know, that's getting an audience of folks who are coming home from their overnight shift or getting up early for work and they're watching and it's doing well there. So, and then the Fox Soul component, right? You can, and then I guess I have a lot of people say they watch on YouTube TV as well. And so you can get it at different times of day. And I thank you, God, for that.
Yeah, so definitely check it out. And it's on demand. So it's it's on demand everywhere, especially the episode that we did together. It's on SeanGarveyOnline.com.
Okay,
if you all want to check it out and watch it.
I appreciate it.
But you know, I'm that guy right there.
Right there. I show you IG, but you already see the camera's going to go down.
Absolutely. So we only got a few minutes. Portia in the building. Portia Bruna. One last question, because you've been very candid about your age, right?
Yes.
You just said that you are 50, which I was under the impression you was in your late 20s.
Good answer, Sean. You see why I keep coming back? You see why I keep coming back? I feel like Miss Piggy right there. Do you see why I keep coming back?
More beautiful than Miss Piggy.
Thank you. Because I believe every day that God gives us is a blessing, right? Yeah. So who's going to bemoan getting older? Now, do I like the part where my knees pop now? And it's a little, a little more rickety sometimes when you get out of bed. And I, for the first time, felt what cold feels like. And I was like, is this arthritis? Sure. There's some things that come with aging that aren't fantastic. But the fact that I'm getting older, I pray means I'm getting wiser. Yeah. I'm getting to watch my amazing sons go from boys to men.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to celebrate.
I see them on the ground.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to my fellas. I don't say their names to respect their privacy because I'm like, Mom, please. I'm like, okay, I respect that. But I got a freshman and I've got a senior, and they are the light. They are the light of my life. So every day I get to watch those two grow into men. And see what God is ordering their steps to do, you know, mistakes and all. It's a blessing. I ain't gonna be mad about it. I'm gonna tell you my age every year.
Yeah. Yeah, because I still to this very day hear women say a woman never reveals her age.
And women, I respect that because it is private. But I just feel like, and I have learned in these last few years of being transparent when I was having mental health issues when I had my nervous breakdown and started stuttering, was diagnosed with psychogenic.
Talked about on the previous episode of the mental space.
Talking about being diagnosed with psychogenic stuttering, which is stress-induced stuttering. I've just found that the more transparent you are and you sort of shatter this image of being this perfect little, porcelain brown doll that's on the news or on TV, I'm a real woman.
Yeah.
With real woman issues and real woman joys and pains. And so it seems like it empowers other people when you tell folks what you're going through and how you got through it. And part of that is owning, I'm 50 years old. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful because I remember the dark nights when I was going through depression and was like, maybe it would just be easier if I wasn't here. So I am outwardly grateful to God for every day that God has given me.
You should have a sticker on your car that said 50 and loving it.
50 and loving it.
Yeah, you should have like a sticker or a shirt or something. She's making a note of it.
I always take notes. You always keep a pen and paper. You never know when you need to take notes on something.
All right. Portia Bruner, Fox 5 in Atlanta at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and simulcasting on Fox Soul.
Yes, by the way. 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. I think again 10 p.m. And then San Francisco, please tell your friends, San Francisco, Oakland, Chicago, Houston. And we hope and pray that it is God's will the show will continue to grow. Oh, and can I just real quick?
Absolutely.
If you've got a story idea, a guest, a segment, a pitch, a topic that you just want to hear, you don't want to be on the show, but you want us to talk about it, please send your emails to portiashow@fox.com. That is PORTIASHOW@fox.com. We would love to hear from you. Just give us your feedback. Tell us what you want to talk about. We're going to keep talking. And please keep following this brother, Sean, because Sean, you are to be acknowledged and saluted for continuing to keep the spotlight on mental health for women, men, children, for brothers. I thank you for this platform that you are giving agency to talk about it every day. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Because when I was a kid, you didn't talk about mental health.
Yeah.
So this is beautiful that you do this. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Very vital, very important, very vital, especially in these days and times.
Yes, indeed.
Well, you are definitely not a stranger. You are a family member to AOK and to the mental space.
AOK family. I love y'all. Thank you.
Absolutely. Portia Bruner from the Portia Show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
The Mental Space with Sean Garvey, News and Talk 1380, WAOK, and on the Flow Television Network.
Hey, oh, should you not? I should probably not.
Oh, you don't want Ice Cube to come. You was doing so great. You don't want Ice Cube to come after us. We'll be right back. 50 years of hip hop. We'll be right back. All right.